gentlemen, welcome back to the Doc Talk podcast with Dr. AJ and Dr. MJ. What's up, my boy? How you doing?
See you, brother. I don't know what that was.
Remember her?
I'm sorry, Alina. Yeah.
Hey, remember her?
Yeah, bro.
Well, Alina's back, bro.
She's back.
Alina's back. She was pretty popular on her first episode.
Yeah, a lot of people requested her. So
Yeah, I know. So we're bringing her back.
We have to bring her back.
She is back, ladies and gentlemen. And today's topic is physician assistants.
Why to choose a physician assistant
Also,
and understand it. I feel like it's a topic that we need to discuss. Patients need to understand because it's not good to like quickly judge without understanding the education and what they can do. You know what I mean?
I agree. Well, I understand the concept of every patient wants to see the doctor, wants to see the doctor, but sometimes it's not feasible. Doctors are busy. We're understaffed, and you know we're running around, and we need help.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Dad has 2 doctors.
Yeah.
What does he see? He sees a physician assistant.
And mom also.
Both mom and dad don't even want to see the doctor.
Yeah.
My dad, this is what dad says. I walk in, the doctor's turned around, looking at the computer, doesn't look at me, doesn't give me no attention. The PA knows everything about me, knows all my history. And when there's a problem that happens, you need to know the history.
I know.
Our own parents,
yeah.
even our uncles who have 5 kids that are doctors, see a PA. Why is that? You understand? So I want patients to understand this a little bit better. And we're going to get into it with you so you can explain. I think start off by explaining what is a PA? What does it require to become a PA? And what, just go ahead, start with that at least, you know?
So to become a PA, it's 24 to 27 months of extra schooling after college.
Okay.
And it's based off of the med school model. Like the nurse practitioner program is based off of a nursing model. PA is based off of the med school model. And it's just accelerated. Obviously, we don't go in as depth, like maybe on a microcellular level as med school. So it's 1 year of book work and then a year of clinical work, essentially. And then a lot of it ends up being on-the-job training because you're kind of being trained with your attending physician to mimic them, do exactly as they do. And I think that's what patients don't understand is the PAs are still being trained with the attending physician to kind of cater to that patient population and be able to do and see everything that doctor does. That way they're still getting that continuity of care.
And similar to what their doctor is. Like that's why they go to that doctor. That's what they like. You're mimicking that. You're doing the same thing.
You went to USF, right?
Yes.
So you graduated from USF. And how's that program?
That one's more accelerated. It's exactly 2 years.
Oh, that's great. So it's fast. It's
Very
get to the point.
Yeah.
Which is fine because there's some things in med school that we really didn't really need. And especially, I feel like for primary care, it's different too. Like, you know, obviously it's a little bit harder when you have an orthopedic surgeon that's going to operate your hip. It's a little bit different. But with the primary care, it's all about understanding the patient. And that's what you do. You spend the quality time with the patient.
They're completely qualified. I think the patients need to understand that all of our PAs are qualified.
And they deserve a little bit more respect. And, you know, if I think this is a topic we should talk about is if you're a patient that's uncomfortable with seeing a physician assistant, there's certain ways. If you respect the doctor, then you have to respect the whole staff.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? And you shouldn't be disrespectful to the physician assistant who is they're spending an hour before they get in the room just to get to know you. And then for you in 1 second to say, I'm not going to see you, I feel like
no,
it's
but if the patients trust their doctor, they also need to trust their judgment that when we hire these physician assistants, we have complete trust in them.
Yeah.
And they're completely competent to see you and treat you.
We wouldn't,
you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I would not have somebody see my patients unless I trust that person to see my patients. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I like to emphasize on. So you have a 1 year of pretty much basic sciences, I would say, correct?
Yeah. All the didactic learning.
And then you have a year of clinical rotations, correct? Yeah. And tell me a little bit about your clinical rotations. So what do you guys do? So do you do all the fields? Do you do ortho? Do you do
They do a lot of like med
medicine?
school. Like the med students do it.
Yeah, so we're trained to be generalists, but then when we can specialize that's the sense of on-the-job training. Yeah. So our rotations will be family medicine, general surgery, dermatology. You get your elective rotations, but it goes into each specialty essentially. Pediatrics, though we had during COVID, we each were in a specialty surgery. They didn't get it. Yeah, it was a mess.
Well, that was a different time.
But you kind of go into every specialty, cardiology, you do all of that in the rotations. And we were with med students the whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
So let me ask you a question. As a PA, what is the hardest part of your job now that you're actively working?
I think the hardest part is breaking the patient relationship, honestly, I think that is probably the hardest.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's the hardest part.
Because when you
It's not
walk
medical
into the
part.
room, it's the patient immediately saying, "Oh, I only want to see the doctor."
Without knowing you.
Yeah.
Without knowing anything about you.
So I think that's probably the hardest part. I don't think patients understand the teamwork that the doctor has with their PAs.
100%.
Because we're seeing from the same pool of patients. So I'm seeing patients that you also see, and we're following them together. I always ask you questions whenever I have questions on a patient. That way I think the problem is they don't think they're getting continuity of care, even though they are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Brian Kersey, who
Yeah.
is a physician assistant at the Maine. I mean, seriously, this guy is better than any physician. He is phenomenal.
Oh, they're fantastic.
He's probably saved so many people's life. He's been working. He's worked hospital,
he's worked for years.
outpatient, ER. Like he does everything.
John Garrett also.
John Garrett. Like, so we have
fantastic.
phenomenal, and that's one thing that people need to understand with Access. When we do hire, we're making sure we hire people that are able to handle our patients are very sick. You know, we work with geriatrics, so it's a different field, and we make sure before they see the patients that they're ready. And I feel like the patients need to have a little bit of more respect towards the physician assistant. If you see a physician assistant and you don't like the way they handle, that's different. But don't judge them before you meet them.
Yeah, of course. Sit down, talk to them. And you know, looking at us, for example, what if I'm sick? What if I'm on vacation? What if I need some time off? So you would rather reschedule your appointment or have that good continuity of care and have my assistant see who's known you, who knows everything about you, and have her or him handle your care. You know,
and they're that's the thing. And I think physician assistant back then is different than now. I 100% believe so. Like that, even the name physician assistant, they're no longer really just assistant. Like they are fully managing the, like, that's what I'm saying. Every physician assistant I've worked with can fully manage an office the
completely.
same way I can, you know?
I trust my physician assistant completely.
Yeah, and
I mean, she's okay.
You're lucky. Yeah,
she's okay.
You're lucky.
She's okay.
You're lucky. And I think also for patients in the community, it's okay. We're not saying for you guys like you have to, but if you have questions, ask us. Especially like for this podcast, right? If you guys have questions and you want to understand and you want to ask Alina questions, we can do that. We can set up an episode where we can just answer the questions for them, so you can let them know what it is to be like a physician assistant.
What do you want to tell our patients? What is something that you want the patients to understand?
I think, especially with our patient population, they need to be seen.
Yeah, they have to. Exactly.
I love that line. That's exactly
100%.
You need to be seen. It doesn't matter. You have to be seen, and we have to discuss your labs, you have to discuss your medications, and of course your complaints.
Here's my thing. If you were to choose, I'm going to give you two scenarios, right? You get a doctor that didn't really look up your records, is not making any eye contact, and when they review the labs, they're just telling you, oh, your A1C, your sugar is high. That's it, right? And they don't really understand you. Would you rather that or a physician assistant that knows every single one of your labs, pulls up the computer, goes over all your labs with you? Like, understanding the patient is more important than the medical side itself. Like, if you do not know the patient and his history, your background, if you went to Harvard, doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
that
anything.
only benefits you. That degree is only benefiting you, right? So the point of using your degree and what you have towards a patient is knowing everything you can about the patient. And it goes back to, you have to see the patient.
Exactly.
I think
we don't have enough doctors.
There's more security too that I don't think they realize. But when you have multiple providers back checking everything, you can catch something.
100%.
For sure.
And it's two eyes on it, too.
Yeah, exactly.
for
So
sure.
that's another good thing to it.
It's a team effort. It is a team effort. Perfect.
And that's our motto that we've been trying to create in the office, is for everyone from the front desk, the MA, the physician assistant, to the doctor. We're all on one team. So everybody has, it's like when you have a team, you have a point guard, everyone plays a role. And in order to win a championship, everyone has to play that role. But if you're missing that position, it becomes a problem.
And honestly, man, from my personal experience, every PA I've worked with has been fantastic, from Brian to John Garrett to Alina. So if there's any PAs out there looking for a job, give me a call.
And I'll tell you this much, AJ, when you are a physician that works with Access, yes, I'm not going to lie to you, it's difficult in the first year. You're seeing things that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else, but you're getting basically paid a full salary for a residency.
Yeah, it really is.
So the training that the patients are worried about, if they come on to Access, within the first year, I will guarantee you our physician assistant are better than any other physician out there because of the training they get, the one-on-one with the doctors, and
irreplaceable.
A lot of medical conditions that you get to manage.
Of course.
You're not just managing knee
course.
pain,
And,
Yeah.
and procedures,
everything.
all
you
the
know?
procedures. I mean, we do tons of procedures in the office. And she's learning. Sharona does all the procedures for
everything
Dr.
over there
Singh.
at the main
Yep,
office.
exactly.
So, and she's a physician assistant. Amazing.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
So we want to make sure that the patients and community, we want to work together, and we want you guys to understand what a physician assistant is and what they do.
Yep.
And if you guys have any questions at all, make sure you let us know. Alina's been awesome. She's part of the team. You guys will be seeing her on every episode.
I personally will not be able to do my job without Alina. So,
Agreed.
She is my right hand, and I'm lost without her. To be honest with you, so we need more
And it's fresh
physician
too.
assistants
You
like
get
Alina.
two eyes, because sometimes the doctor's burnt out. You get a doctor that's in the hospital, in the clinic, and burnt out, and you get fresh eyes that's excited, that wants to make sure the patient is taken care of. Again, there's a reason why mom and dad see a PA because of that.
But you know, also MJ is like, you also need to have people who are willing to learn.
Yeah.
Even us as doctors, every day we're learning. And you'll have physician assistants. Some of them are just like maybe not competent enough. I personally.
But the same thing with doctors, though.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
There's not competent PAs, and there's not competent doctors.
I agree,
So-
100%. That's why it's a team effort. You know,
100%.
you have to be on the same page, and you have to get along. And you know what? I've seen a lot of doctors, unfortunately, they don't treat their PAs very well. And you know, I don't want to go into too much detail, but that's just not right, especially when that PA is your right hand. That person
Don't
is
look
with
at
you
him
all the
as
time.
my
You know,
physician assistant.
yeah,
Look at
exactly.
that. That's
No,
your
that is my
partner.
partner. That
and
is my partner.
We have to change that.
That is
though.
my second pair of eyes. That is the person that's helping me, and I'm helping her. We're
100%.
helping each other or him.
100%.
You know. So please, for all our patients, don't get upset if you're gonna have to see our PAs or our nurse practitioners. Remember that they're completely competent. We trust them 100%. And there might be a time where you might need to see them, and another
Times
time
changing.
times
have changed.
because we're burnt out. Doctors are burnt out. PAs are burnt out. Nurse practitioners are burnt out. And I hope patients start understanding that we're trying our hardest.
Let's work together. Like that's the one thing I say. We don't have to like jam it down your throat where you have to do these things.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You have the right.
Yeah.
And the only thing is that it would work a lot better for you if you joined the team and allow us to grow together
100%.
Instead of like, fighting. I had a patient that like went and complained and did all these things and made it very difficult for this physician assistant. I never even met her.
Yeah.
She walked in and said, I don't want to see you. And then what I'm saying is, guys, like, be understanding. We're burnt out as a group. So we all need to work together. Multiple eyes, different ways to get help.
And you know what? I've had patients that got really upset if they saw Alina or if they saw Catherine, my nurse practitioner, and the second time around, they're like,
that's all they want to see.
They're excited. I thought I was going to see Catherine, or I thought I was going to see Alina. It was like,
that's who they want to see.
Yeah, now they want to see them. So give them the chance. Give them the opportunity.
I think any patient that would meet Alina, not because you're here, would be like, lucky to have you just because you care so much.
Yeah,
you
she
love
really
medicine.
does. She really
you love medicine, you care. And I think, honestly, with access in general, again, guys, most of these people are getting trained in the main office with Dr. Singh.
Yep.
In that main office, there's so many patients, thousands of patients that they're getting training on. So what facility can you go where you get thousands of patients, you get to do procedures, you have IV fluids in the back, right?
Exactly. Get paid and you learn all these procedures.
Everything. So
who doesn't want to take that?
And our training is going through there, so when they go out in the community, they're ready.
Yeah, they're ready.
So
I agree.
we just want us all, guys, to work together to understand who these patients are. I mean, who our physicians, assistants are, who our nurse practitioners are. And if you have questions, let us know. This is why our podcast is here.
Exactly. Well, Alina, thank you.
You've been awesome.
Again, we will definitely see you soon.
Yes.
In the future.
Anything you want to say to the?
Is there something that you want to add on before we close off the podcast today?
Does this podcast? It sounds like a raise is coming.
Yeah. We'll talk about that
We'll
later.
talk about that.
We'll talk about that later. Just finish off the year, then we'll chat.
It depends on the patients.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see your reviews.
Guys, if you love Alina, go online, give her a review.
Yes.
And then
We'll
maybe
think about it. If we get 500 people to agree to give Alina, we'll consider it.
Guys, put it in the comments. We would love that, okay?
Exactly. Thank you,
and if you
guys.
haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we know who you are.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm watching
and Facebook.
everything.
Follow our Facebook page, our Instagram page. Thank you again so
Yes.
much. MJ, my man.
Have a good one, man.
Love you both. I'll see you soon. Alina,
Thank you.
see you later,
for
bro.
having me.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.